Hey guys, this is O.P.O.V podcast. What's good?
What's
Hey
up?
guys,
What's
What's up,
up?
guys?
We
how's
have a special guest
everybody?
today, Jeff Anderson.
What's up, Jeff?
Thank you for
Hey
joining
How you
us
doing,
Jeff.
in the
guys?
conversation today, Jeff.
Thank you for having me.
Jeff, and I always appreciate you with your input. So I'm glad to actually have you as a guest today.
Absolutely. I'm glad I could support. So that's what I'm here for, to help out and support.
Definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So before we get into the nitty gritty, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm
We're
doing
here.
good. Even though the sun wasn't shining today, it's better to have the snow on the ground. You know what I mean?
It is. It
Yeah, it
is.
is supposed to
Absolutely.
be a little chilly this weekend too.
And I'm just rolling with the punches as usual. Same as last week. Same punches.
Hopefully
Same
the weather
here.
changes soon, though. I think it's going to get warmer real soon, so
I
should have
can't
better
wait.
days.
You can see it coming.
Yes. You can smell it coming.
It is. And Shaz, he cut down the tree in his front yard, and he definitely did offer me some firewood. So we about to turn that furnace off, start burning some firewood.
Okay.
They
Period.
seem to save
Period.
electricity or gas, whatever you running off.
Absolutely.
Yes, gas. What's up with you, Jeff?
Not much. Just a long day. Busy in the office, taking care of the kids. Just, same thing over and over again. Every day's the same.
The grind
Yes.
don't stop.
No, nope, never. Never. It's always the same.
So listen, Jeff is our special guest today. Jeff, I need for you to tell us about yourself
Yeah.
and the programs that you have, the community.
All right. How long is your program? How long I got here? So I mean, real briefly, just for the people that don't know me, I'm born and raised in McKeesport, class of 2004. A lot of people know me from Pizza and Gyro Express. That was my shop for 15 years. So a lot of people kind of know me from there. They also know me by my nickname Jeffro Charles. I've been being called that my whole life. So that's where a lot of people know me from. Just real quick, it's about 11 years ago. I was working at Pizza and Gyro, and freezing cold outside. I seen a family walking up the street, mother and her three kids. The mother had this huge coat on. The three kids that she was walking with her kids had t-shirts on. Um, yeah, I just didn't think I looked right, so I ran outside, called them over, told them give me about 10 minutes. Ran down to the Family Dollar, bought three coats, and I gave it to them. And everything started from there. I didn't even mean for it to start, but everything started from there. The word got out that I helped this family. Before you know it, one thing led into another. So it led into the holidays. Christmas, I believe, was the next holiday coming up. People started calling Pizza and Jar. Hey, do you know if Jeff's helping anybody from Pizza and Jar for Christmas? And I'm like, what do you mean helping people? I don't help people. What are you talking about? Well, I started receiving donations to the community. People started dropping toys off, and before you know it, that first year I was able to help like 30 families. It was like something small,
That's
but I was able to
big.
get them. I was
Yeah.
able to get them toys. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then, like I said, the next holiday led in Thanksgiving was first, then Christmas, and then it led into almost every holiday. People were reaching out to me like, "Hey, how can we get help from you?" So I took it upon myself to make it a little bigger thing. I made sure every holiday, every year, I did something for the community. I started out by getting donations from just regular community members. They would drop donations off, and I would make sure it went to the right people.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, and that's what I've been doing for the last 11 or 10, 11 years. Then we got into the COVID period there. The beginning of the COVID. I seen that people were doing these food pantries. A lot of people in this area need the help with food. Um, so I started doing my own food pantry. I didn't know it was going to take off like it did. It started with like 5, 10 people showing up the first day or the first time. Couple times down the road, a couple of distributions down the road, I noticed about 100, 150 people showing up.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, like I'm really helping a lot of people here.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so then, obviously, you have to get the proper coding and everything for that. So I reached out to a buddy of mine. He's local. Everybody knows him. He helped me get my 501c3 up and running.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
so I ended up getting a 501c3 and turned it into a nonprofit, and that's where the Mentoring Village comes in. That's the name of my nonprofit. It's the Mentoring Village. My main goal with that is basically mentoring the youth in the community. I reached out right before I started. I reached out to a few kids in the community and asked them to help me hand the coats out one time for a coat drive, and they looked at me like, "Are you serious? I'm going to get made fun of if I do this." I'm like, "Do what? Helping people out?" They said, "Yeah, my friends will make fun of me if they see me doing this." So that's where the mentoring village part came in. It's to mentor the youth in this community to give back to their community and show that it's okay to give back to the community and not have to worry about being made fun of. That it's cool. It's a cool thing to do. It's
It
helping
is. It's
people
very
out.
cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so that's where we come in. We do a lot of projects in the summertime with the kids, like like fishing derbies and things like that. Give gifts out to them for that. Kickball tournament, just like a couple different things like that we do, just to show to have fun with the kids and give them prizes and things like that to take home. So that led into that. The food pantry, it just took off. It just went from having 10 people show up one time to 150 people, and people calling me and messaging me every single day. Hey, our family's struggling. Can you help me with food? And I just started
Hmm.
reaching out to different resources. My first partner that I partnered with it was 412 Food Rescue. They're local. They're out of Pittsburgh. So that's where I get a lot of my food donations from. They delivered food out of a truck to me twice a week, and I just set up a date, usually through social media, um, and I set up a date and time for the people to come, and they sort through, go through the food, and they take what they need. So I help a lot of people out with that right there. Another real big thing that I do is Christmas. Okay, I know I already talked about the Christmas thing, but this previous Christmas, we handed out 287 gifts. Okay,
Wow.
that's 4 gifts apiece for each child that signs up with me. That's the difference between me and the city of McKeesport. The city of McKeesport, they do one. They want your income based. If you don't qualify income based, they don't help you. And if you do qualify, they only give you a present, one present, maybe two. With our nonprofit, we gave at least 4 gifts for each child in your family. So if you have 6 children in your family, you're getting 24 gifts to take for your children for Christmas. Um,
That's nice.
so this year was been our
Awesome.
biggest year
Yeah.
so far. 287. I'm sorry. Did I say presents? I'm sorry. I meant to say children. 287
Uh,
children
so you had
we
almost
helped this
over
year.
a thousand gifts.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nice.
So
That's
with my
nice. That's
nonprofit,
huge.
yeah, it was huge. It was real big this year, and I'm looking to get bigger every year with that. Help as many kids as I can. Christmas has always been a big thing of mine. I lost my daughter 6 years ago. 6 years ago on Christmas Day.
I'm sorry to hear
I'm
Um,
that.
sorry to hear that.
Thank you, thank you. So Christmas is really big to me. I make sure I do what I can on Christmas. Puts me in a Christmas spirit. So it's less thinking about the death and more thinking about helping people. Um, I
Hmm.
reached out to Walmart, Targets, things like that. They or places like that, and they donate grants to me. So I ended up with like $5,000 worth of grants this year. So that was able to help me get enough gifts to supply to
Mm.
287 kids.
Wow. That's
Um,
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, absolutely. Thanksgiving, 85, or a Thanksgiving this year, 84 families. Thanksgiving dinner. I don't make the dinner for Yins. The first year I did, but then I realized that people, um, they want to do it themselves. They want to feel dependent. They want to be able to do it themselves at home. So that's why I decided I was going to stop making the dinner and handing it out. I'm just going to give you everything to make your own dinner at home. So I
Yeah.
reached out to the Charlie Batch Foundation. Um, Charlie Batch donated 84 turkeys last year to us, and that went along with
Awesome.
the Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. So me and Charlie are now personal friends. I got his personal number. I can call him whenever I need help, and he's there to help me. So yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the coat drives. Um, And then any household items that a single mother or a single family might need to help them get their house back together. I know I run into a lot of families that are just getting their kids back through CYS and things like that, and that they're not allowed to get their kids back unless they have every proper thing in that house that they have to have. So I partner with a couple
Mm-hmm.
other organizations, the Family Resource Center, another good place that I just recently partnered with, and I definitely want to mention their name is it's called Your House. It's actually HOURS House. They're actually located in Glassport. Um, I just had a long meeting. His name's Reverend Butler. His wife's name is Luana, Dr. Luana Butler, and they do a lot of great things for the city of Glassport. The
Okay.
big thing down there, and I talked to him. He didn't want to say it because he thought because I was white, he didn't want to put not racial out there. He don't get nothing in return from that city. No help from the community, no help from the public, like city council over there, anybody like that. They refuse to help him. All they do is give him problems. Okay. And I straight told him whenever we had a meeting, I said, you know why? It's because you're black and you're in this community. He said, Jeff, I wanted to say that, but I didn't want you taking it the wrong way. I said, no. As soon as you said that, I knew right away that's what it was.
That's
So
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Unbelievable. And all he's doing is trying to help his
Right.
people in that community. You think that they would give him a hand, help him out a little bit instead of giving him problems. But
Well,
no, they
shout out
give
to
him
you for
problems.
being willing to say it out loud.
Absolutely. I don't bite my tongue for nobody. And if I think that's what's going on, I know that's what's going on. I'll tell you. So they just actually got into the blessing board down in McKeesport.
Okay.
So they're moving to the old blessing board is not there no more. They moved out of the city. So
Oh, okay.
your house, they're moving down into the blessing board. Now they also do a lot more. They do for rehabilitation. If you're coming out of rehab, you need a house to live. They got housing set up for you there too, help you get back on your feet. AA meetings there. So they do a lot of great things over there. They also got a pallet program to where they get pallets donated through Amazon, and it's like household items. Like it could be anything, kitchen items, nothing huge, like no refrigerator, no beds, but it's like anything else in your house that you need that you can think of, they have. And if somebody needs help, they could go to him and get that kind of stuff for their house. So it helps families trying to get back on their feet and trying to get their family back through maybe like CYS or something like that. So they're doing a lot of great things for the community as well. And I recently just partnered with them. Um, and another big thing I definitely want to touch base on, which Jess knows a lot about this. We talked about this in the past. Is oh if you've seen the school board meetings, I was at the school board meeting. I proposed it at the school board meeting. Let me just show you a quick brochure. I don't know if you can see it too well, but this is what the brochure would look like if you got something like that. Kids brought them home. It's called a buddy bench. Okay, I was
Which, by the way, I think is an awesome idea. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I was touched by an 8-year-old boy in Indiana. He was being bullied in school. His dad works in a facility that they do like mill plastic down and make certain things. Well, he saved a bunch of bottle caps. Long story short, saved a bunch of bottle caps. Got a bench made. Got to put it in school. And it's to help. This bench is to help three different things. It's to help people. If you sit on this bench, maybe another kid will come sit with you. It helps you get a buddy in school. Maybe you're shy. You need a friend in school. um, it could also be you're being bullied in school and don't know who to talk to about it, or you could be having a problem at home. Maybe your parents are having a problem at home, or maybe you're being abused at home, or something like that. Sitting on this bench in school, and I'm going to have an assembly with the children in the school when we put this in, to let the kids know what the meaning of this bench is, and it's supposed to alert the teachers if there's something wrong with this child, that this child needs a little bit more attention to
That is
address it.
so awesome. Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
that's real nice.
I think it's going to go a long way. We will be the only school in the state of Pennsylvania that has something like this. And my end goal with that buddy bench is for other school districts to reach out to us and say, "Hey, how did you do that? How do I get involved in something like that?" And let
Hmm.
McKeesport be the growing point of it. You know, and so that's my end goal with that. And if anybody needs any information on that, you can go onto the McKeesport School District's page. There's flyers on there on what to do to collect. Basically, we need 500 bottle caps, or I'm sorry, 500 pounds of bottle caps. and that gets 2 buddy benches, one for each elementary school. It's bottle caps, it's lids, plastic lids, things like that. There's a few different places that you could donate them to. You could have your kid take them into school, which I thought of a great idea, letting the kids do it, like collecting the classrooms. And then do like a little competition. Whatever classroom could collect the most, they get a pizza party or an ice cream party. So that's what they're doing with that. And I was just had a meeting with the school this week, and the kids they're excited. They are really excited, and that makes me feel good that I'm doing something to make them excited about it. And they're really excited to bring caps in. So that's getting pretty big too. That's going to get national news. The Today Show reached out to us. They want to do a live interview on as soon as we get the buddy benches in. They wanted to come out and do a live interview from the Today Show at the school district to show what we did. So that's going to get a lot of attention.
That's good.
And individually, I know that I don't have a kid in the district, but we have been, since we found out about your program, we have started collecting bottle caps in our home. So once we get like bags full, we'll bring them down to you. But
yeah, so there's a couple locations you could also drop them off. Di's Diner and Olympia Shopping Center. She's taking donations up here for me. So if you don't have a kid to go to school that goes to school, or don't know a kid that goes to school, if you want to help, you could take them to the Di's Diner and drop them off there. Agapa, that's another nonprofit in White Oak. It's the old post office. They turned it in recently to the mac and cheese out there. She does a lot with me too. She partners with me, does a lot of food distributions there. Helps a lot of families out also. But they're collecting bottle caps there. Okay. So what goes along with that is once we receive all these bottle caps, I got to take an 8-hour trip to Indiana, not Indiana, PA, the state of Indiana. An 8-hour trip with supposedly about 19 full contractor bags of bottle caps is about what it should equal up to, and bring 2 heavy ass benches back. So I can't just do that in a regular pickup truck. It ain't gonna happen. So what we're doing is we are raising money for the traveling expenses, and also for gas. Gas ain't cheap now. So
we do
this
know
is
that.
I'm sure Jess will post this on your guys' page, but it's briefly, I'll just tell you what it is. It's a spaghetti dinner. We're having that on March the 27th at the Agapa in White Oak, where the old mac and cheese is. Kelly's donating the kitchen out there to me for that day. It's from 2 to 4:30 on this Sunday, March the 27th. So if anybody could please come out and help support us. It's not just supporting us, it's supporting the kids. It's helping the kids get to their goal and get these benches put in by the end of this year, hopefully. And that's my end goal there. So
you're trying to have this done by the end of this school year.
Yeah. That's why that's why I'm having the community also collect for us and be able to drop off. So the kids because the kids in 5th grade this year at those schools, they're going to a new school next year. So they're not going to get to see the finished product. So I want them to be able to see, this is what I did, this is what I collected, and get to see the finished product. So I would like to have it in by the middle of May, in the school district by the middle of May. So that's my goal. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's awesome when I'm just doing what I can, and I do this. Jess asked me when we've seen each other. She said, "Jeff, how can I help?"
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell people to help because I've been, like I told her, I've been doing this for 11 years by myself. I don't get no help whatsoever. Like my mom will help me every once in a while. A couple of the community members will stop down everyone. But I do this every year. Everything I do it all by myself. I organize it and I make sure it goes through to the end to make sure whatever I put out there gets done. And it's not that I don't want to help. I just been doing it for so long myself. I don't even know how to tell somebody to help me because I just do it all myself,
It's like you keep your keep working.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So
well, you need to know that there are people out here willing and ready to help you. Like I said, I think that it'll be something good for me and my daughter to help out with whatever we can and volunteering. So, just give me a holler whenever you need help, and we both will come down there and help you. Is there a way that people can get in touch with you, get in contact with you if they want to help out?
Yeah, absolutely. They could get on their Facebook page, the Mentoring Village, like and share a page, message me through there. The email is the mentoring village 85@gmail.com. They could get in touch with me there. And also my direct number is on our Facebook page as well. If they have any questions or need any answers, they could also contact me through that way as well. Well, I'll definitely need help here soon. We got to go through 500 pounds of bottle caps. Every one of them got to be cleaned and dried. So I can't do that myself.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need somebody to help me when it comes to that point. But yeah. So that's what I do, and I'm not gonna stop until I get real big. And
absolutely, thank you, Melissa. We're
hopefully
very
help
proud
as
of
many,
Jeff as well.
hopefully help as many people as I can. That's my goal, man.
Well,
They said this is the fourth most dangerous city in the world, but I tell people all the time, listen, there's good people here. We need to
In the
help our
world or
people.
the country?
It's supposed to be, what is it? The world or country? Fourth
country,
most
bro.
dangerous.
Probably the
Country.
country.
You're right. Yeah, not the world. Yeah, country. But still, I mean, that's just the statistics, man. That ain't how it
I
is,
don't know
man.
that I believe that,
I
but
think everybody
I don't
who's
either.
from our city know our city, so we don't think of it like
Hmm.
that. But from the
right.
outside looking in, when people talk about it, it's like a horror story.
Yeah, it
Right.
is. It is.
But there's so many good people here, though. There
It
really
is.
is. I met a guy today from California. He just moved up here, and he loves this city. He was like, but I keep hearing bad things about it, but I'd never seen anything bad yet. Everybody I ran into are like really good. You know what I mean? Like really
Yeah,
good people. And because that's what it is here, and
Hmm.
that's what I'm trying to present. Like there is good people out here
yeah. I
that
don't know anybody
Right.
that don't like our city once they actually visit or stay.
Hmm.
Right.
right.
Oh,
So
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's kind of what I'm doing. And one other thing I do want to throw out there. I know I'm taking a little bit of time up, but I also do government phones. I help people with government phones, free
Oh,
government
cool.
phones. It's unlimited everything. It's help low income people get these phones. Everything's free. There's no monthly bill. You get unlimited everything. And what I recently just did is I went down to you guys might have heard of the place. It's called the Community Kitchen. It's in Hazelwood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've heard of it. Hmm.
The program that they got going on down there is unbelievable, man. Everybody got to know about this. They help people that are getting out of prison, getting out of jail, getting out of
Hmm.
rehab, people with felonies that can't just go get a job. They pay for you to go to school there. It's culinary. They're teaching you how to cook. They get you a degree. They get you certified. It's job placement. They give you a bus schedule so you can make sure you get there. They help with housing. They help with so much stuff down there,
That's so
and
nice. That's so good.
And you know
it's
what else
it's
that they do?
unbelievable.
Um, they actually do family cooking nights at my daughter's school.
Really, see,
Yes,
that's what I
yes.
mean.
And so they'll have like a specific dish that they'll have that you can come with your kid who attends the school, and as a family, you can learn how to make the dish.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's unbelievable what they're doing down there. So if you ever get a chance, man, look, check it out. It's called the Community Kitchen. It's right in Hazelwood on the main drag. It's unbelievable what that guy is doing down there to help people. So definitely check that out if you get a chance.
Sweet.
Awesome.
That's one thing we gotta start being able to do is allow people to know the information that can help people out because we don't really necessarily know, you know. So
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Hmm.
whenever the information is out there, I definitely appreciate none because all it
Yeah,
is
for sure.
somebody telling somebody else that could actually help
Yes. And if
save
this
somebody's
Hmm.
life.
Right.
platform can reach a few more ears, that's even better because what's going on in the community. That's nice. That buddy
Right.
bench. Whenever you spoke about the buddy bench at that school board meeting that evening, I was there and I instantly was
Okay.
like, "That is a good idea. Like that is such a good idea.
Hmm.
They need. It's a need for that. Like it's not only a good idea, it's needed."
There
So
is. There is. I mean, it's something little. I said it's going to prevent bullying. It's not going to stop bullying. No, absolutely not. But it's going to prevent it a little bit. It's going to let
what I
teachers know that this kid's being bullied.
what I think is it's not necessarily going to prevent it, but it could definitely deter it, because what it is doing, in my mind, this is my perspective of it, is giving the kids a tool and an outlet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if there's a bench there and a kid goes to sit on it without even saying a word, the administrators will know why that kid is sitting there. Like, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Versus
Exactly.
like the kids who are not, because let's be real. We got these schools, I mean, these kids in these schools, and they're getting picked on for everything. So if you are getting picked on and you tell, you're a snitch. And if you don't say nothing, you're continuing to get bullied. Like, you know what I'm saying? So what way out is it for a kid? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like the buddy bench is like the perfect instrument without the kid saying a word.
Yeah.
Sit on the bench and the administrators can take it from there, versus, you know, having to raise their hand to be excused to go out of the classroom, or you know what I mean? Like just the different things that happens in the classroom or in the building. So I just think that once the administrators are on board in the buildings, then I feel like it definitely can be a deterrent for the bullying.
Even if a child's having problems at home, maybe they're being abused, or maybe their mom's being abused at home,
or
they're not just going to walk
conversation,
in school and say, "Hey, I'm being beat at home." They don't know who to talk to about that. You know what I mean? So sitting on his bench is going to let these teachers know that this child has something they need to say.
Yes.
You know, and I think it could go a long way. There's a strong message with it. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that in the community of McKeesport, we definitely do have a lot of good people here. We just have to get the information out so people know. Because I'm guilty. I can honestly say, Jeff, we've been Facebook friends for a long time, and I did not know that you had all of this stuff going on. So I'm glad that, you know, I started going to the school board meetings to find out a pinch of what you were doing, and then from there, I just found out even more.
It snowballed after from that, because I didn't know that either. But yeah, and this don't have anything to do with nothing, but we were frequent flyers of Pizza and Gyro Express, probably for those 15 years that you know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, it's just getting the word out there. The word of mouth is where it's at. I mean, once the word gets out there, that's where it goes. And I'm not done. I got so much more stuff in the works. I work 7 days a week. I got 4 kids. I work 7 days a week, and I do this 7 days a week also. My work's never done. So it's just trying to find the energy and time to pull something else together. Like, I got another plan with the school district I want to bring to the school district and or do something else to them, see if they're going to be on board with this. I'm partnering with like so many other nonprofits in McKeesport right now to make things bigger and do bigger and better things here. So we're not done. I'm not done. And even if I got to do this myself, I'll keep doing it myself.
Yeah.
So
awesome. But you don't have to. There's people ready and willing to volunteer to help.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it though. So
yes. And I think, and this is just my personal opinion again. I think that people are willing to help people who don't have a hidden agenda. Whenever you know that they're not in it for something, like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas though I'm in the community, I've been in the community for years, like, you know what I'm saying? And I can't necessarily say that, oh, this person is just doing this out of the pure goodness of their heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's always like a hidden agenda, or, you know, something like that. It should just be organic.
Yeah, you just want to do
what
it.
I mean?
You know?
Yeah, just just do it. So
I do it. I don't do it for the publicity. I do it because I legit care. Like, you know what I mean?
Obviously not for the publicity, because there's a lot of things that we didn't know.
Right. And the publicity just comes with it. You know what I mean? But I didn't ask for none of that. Like, I didn't ask for the Today Show to reach out to me. Somebody reached out to them and told them about me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I don't even know who did it, but they reached out to me, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. But I don't reach out for the publicity. I do this because I care. and that's the way I like to have it. So, and I got a lot of supporters too. Can't do it without them.
Great.
Awesome.
So,
All right.
So, Jeff, you said you were going to stick around for the other conversation.
yeah, I can stick around. I can whatever you want.
No, we want you to stick around because you're always in the comments anyway.
Sure, let it roll.
So, switching gears a little bit, Kanye West has been canceled as a performer at the Grammys. Do you guys have any thoughts?
My thoughts are we're boycotting the fucking Grammys off rip. Like we're not watching them. We wasn't really interested over these last couple of years any damn way. So I mean, if Kanye West was performing there, I would have tuned in. But if he's not even he's not even invited there. I'm not even turning them on. How about that?
So you boycotted the NFL too, right?
Yeah.
Huh? You said that too, right? You boycotted the NFL.
Did I say that?
The NFL.
Yeah.
I don't watch the Grammys anyway, so I mean, I might watch the performances on like YouTube or something after they're done, but I don't watch the Grammys. It's too long of a show.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I did not even know that Kanye was supposed to be performing until they said he was not allowed to perform. So, like,
I wasn't going to say that to Kenya said something because I know that's her man. So I don't really want to.
That's why I start cracking up. Like, look,
and let's be honest, a lot of artists have petitioned to boycott the Grammys over the years or didn't show up for whatever reasons that they had because they felt like the Grammys was unfair for whatever reasons or whatever. So them doing that to say because of his antics on social media, I think it's crazy.
I didn't even know the two had connections.
Yeah. They wanted to. I mean, I guess that's their free marketing. They got people talking about the Grammys and maybe Googling them, seeing when they coming on or whatever. You know, I'm boycotting the Grammys.
He's a performer. Let him perform. Let him do his thing. But I know he also
Fernand,
likes to
who's
use
your cousin? We need to know who your cousin is.
He's a performer, though. You know what I mean? So let him perform. But he also uses the public eye to put other things out there. So I think that's what they're more worried about him, like coming out and saying something extra.
Is he going to be a spectacle?
Because we can't forget Taylor Swift's incident.
But do you think it's a coincidence that he made sure that his new album wasn't going to be on the public platforms now that they want to cancel it? I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that him making sure that his album couldn't be nominated for something and putting it into his own hands. I think the record labels might have wrote a letter to the Grammys like, yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I can see that happening.
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, that Stone Player kind of messed up the algorithms for the.
Shout out to your cousin, Fernand. Tim
Fernand.
Well, salute to Tim for being able to have that experience because I know.
Well, he won't be seeing Kanye West there this year. He won't be there. Tell him don't go. Boycott the Grammys.
Yeah, tell him.
Right. I just want you to be in a room one day with Kanye, Kenya. Just one day.
Me too. How about that?
Yeah,
and let's be honest. What he said, what he did to Taylor Swift was not cool, but it was the truth.
It was the truth.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't cool though, but it was.
It was. You don't take somebody's award away.
Yeah, not an award. No.
He didn't take it away. He just took a little bit of shine away. She still got the award or whatever, but he just stated his opinion about it because
at the press conference.
No, he did it when that's why I said sometimes it's not always the best reaction, but it's a reaction. So
plus, you know, with a lot of these big name award shows, there's so much politics involved. Like
yes.
Let her do her
whatever
speech and Let her, let her get her shine on. He shouldn't have interrupted.
Beyonce got cheated though. Like, cause Beyonce should have got that award off the rip. Like Taylor Swift got, like, come on.
All right, you can talk about it after. Because what did Taylor Swift do wrong?
Well, I'm a little
She didn't do
tired of
anything
Kanye.
wrong.
I guess we talked about it because this was a new
a thing
development in the saga of Kanye, but I'm kind of like tired of talking about him.
I mean, yeah, because I feel like everybody has the same stance regardless of what.
I just feel like next month it's just going to be another story.
Yeah,
and we're just
for
going to
sure.
keep talking about it. Keep talking about it. Next
for
week,
sure.
Yeah. I was just giving them benefit of the doubt. Maybe next month, but you're right. Next week it'll be another story.
He might be chilling a little bit today, but next week he's gonna be back on it.
For sure.
I agree.
All right, so y'all want to keep it moving?
Yes. Let's get it off, Kanye, please.
All right. So the major thing I wanted to talk about is we have collegiate swimmer who is also a transgender woman, Lia Thomas, who is competing on the women's swim team in Atlanta. Leah was just swimming on the men's team last year. However, has been going through 3 years of hormone replacement therapy and transitioning to a woman. And this year has been allowed to compete as a woman. Leah blew the women out of the water in the 500 meter. However, subsequent races, Leah placed 5th in the 200 meter and then placed dead last in the 100 meter. So with that information, with all of that being said, what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I'll go first.
I think she got an advantage.
Regardless of what type of
First of all, that's not fair. She's on the women's team. The hormones are different for her.
Absolutely.
It's definitely not fair. I agree.
Absolutely. That's what I was about to say. No matter what she's taken to become the next gender, it still doesn't change her DNA. She was born a man. She's a man. Men are built different, and I just really think that it was unfair that she was able to compete against the women. It was it's unfair to the women, and I think that in all sports, if it's a man sport, let the men compete in it. If it's a women's sport, let the women compete in that.
There shouldn't be any gray lines.
Right, because basically what they're saying is that the only difference between men and women is hormones, and that's really not true.
But would we be?
Well, then
would
that's
we be
the
talking
difference.
about it if it was? Would we be talking to if it was the opposite way? If it was a woman competing in a man's sport and beating them that way?
No,
would we be
saying?
She's
getting blown out, and that's what
you can't say that.
On the flip side, with Leah Thomas was a scrub as a man. Like on the men's team, she was placed like 400 something, a straight scrub. Now you join the women's team and you blowing them out in the 500 meter.
Not cool.
That's why I'm sorry. I feel like because of the backlash that happened after that 500 meter race, I feel like Leah Thomas threw them next 2 races.
So what happens if Serena Williams went over to the men's part of the tennis? You think the guys are going to blow her away?
They could potentially blow her away, but why would she even do that? She's a woman competing in the women's tennis.
I had some difficulty, and I'm so sorry. But I feel like the transitioning races was thrown.
No, ain't no. That's where y'all keep coming in with this gray line. There's no gray line. Take that out. it's a man or a woman. Like you, whatever you choose to do with your personal life or become or whatever, that's on you. I'm not judging you on that. But when you got things where it's women and men, take that gray line out of there. Ain't no what if. Ain't no what if. And then you do have some men, I mean some women who want to play football and all of that. If they're getting in like on the semi-professional level. I know that they do have some women mixed in with the men on certain teams or whatever. There's no because she's a woman we got to take it easy. Like they're gonna treat that woman the same. And I don't think physically, no matter what she do,
Are you talking about the hormone replacement therapy? I think that's what you're talking about, but I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, but like that's what you take it if she's taking those hormone replacements to transition over to become a female. I don't care what the hell she takes. She's never going to be able to bear a child because that's what women do. So I don't care what she takes to become a woman. Like that shit is crazy to me. I don't understand it. To each his own.
Taking off in sports, how do you feel about the bathroom issue?
They need to make a separate bathroom for transgender, and they could all use that bathroom. Like I don't know.
See, I think you don't even
and you know what it is I think because I know a lot of people were saying, okay, they're not gonna blame Leah for this, blah blah blah. It's the NCAA, but I think it's both.
I don't blame Leah for it. I definitely don't blame her for it.
No, she's not to blame for it because she's only doing what she's allowed to do. If she wasn't allowed to do that, she wouldn't do it.
I mean, I could see if she was going in there blowing them away every competition, not losing. But she actually lost the last couple competitions. She lost the last couple competitions.
She did, but what I was saying before is I think those were intentionally thrown because of the backlash she got from winning the 500 meter.
Have you seen her shoulder? How wide her shoulders are?
Just her standing next to those other females looked crazy to me. Crazy.
You don't think that's an advantage right there? She could reach 10 feet, and they could only reach 6 feet.
That's what Jessica was saying.
I definitely believe she lost on purpose in order to bring a lot of the heat off of the argument of transgenders being able to compete in the sport of their
Would you think she was like, I ain't gonna be the face of this shit?
Probably, Tom.
Well, yeah, because I think what it was is after that 500 meter race, like there was so much backlash. Like when Leah Thomas won those races, there was nobody like very little people cheering. Like people were like outraged at the fact. So I think that in order to prove a point that transgender people can compete in the sport that they identify with, those subsequent races were intentionally thrown. That's my opinion.
Because listen, if Leah, she's transitioning over into being a woman. What if she was in the boxing sport? Would she be able to fight against a woman knowing that she was born a man?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that because Fallon Fox, the MMA fighter, transitioned from being a man to a woman.
And she got her ass beat too.
And she got her ass beat, yeah.
So she fought a man and the man kicked her ass.
No, vice versa.
No,
so she fought a woman. He fought a woman and the woman kicked his ass.
Right.
Now, I think it is a good thing to say that Fallon Fox was trash as a man fighter.
But honestly, you'll see it as with kids and like wrestling tournaments and things like that. There's some girls that be busting the little boys' asses.
I got a story. I mean, my son plays all sports. Back then, he played. He did wrestle. He tried his hand at wrestle. He made it all the way to like the championships or whatever it was. It was our first year of wrestling, and he lost to a girl. He never went out for wrestling ever again. Like,
Can
you
I
know what I'm
please just tell
saying?
y'all? I feel like the Illuminati is in my internet because I've never frozen this many times ever.
Maybe
Like,
because we're talking about the transgender thing, you know, that's a touchy,
yeah.
touchy subject. To each his own. I'm not against the transgender world or anything like that. I just think that it was unfair circumstances for him competing in a woman's race. Like
Right, and I also
that's
think
just
that
it.
like there needs to be. I think this is hard for me to say because, like, to be honest with you, the whole transgender thing, I have to be real. Like, I do not understand it. And I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend that I do. What I do know for sure is that somebody who was male but yet identifies a woman should not compete in women's sports. There needs to be something else to be figured out here.
Make your
The
own way.
NCAA got it wrong.
That's
But
a
at
good
the same
idea,
time, I
Jeff.
feel like in the name of being inclusive and also like fearing some sort of backlash from the community, they did what they felt like they should do. But this was not the move.
That league would be lit too, just because you would.
Yeah, it would. It would be sick.
Love that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good idea.
could somebody transition into a woman go up against somebody transitioning into a guy? Like, with that, like,
Right? Yeah, that would be sick. I mean,
that would
look,
be
Bruce
sick.
Jenner waited until he retired to turn into a woman.
And for the
Like
record,
that.
Bruce Jenner is in agreement. Like he feels like Leah Thomas should
Yeah,
not have been able to compete with the women. Martina Navratilova, who is part of the LGBTQIA community, also feels like Leah Thomas should not have been able to compete with women.
Well, when we were talking earlier, like earlier in the week, I don't even necessarily look at it as her winning more so than somebody else that was training hard for that spot. She actually was able to take their spot. You know what I mean?
That's the
That's
first
the
thing I
part.
thought of. Like these people have been training hard as
yeah,
heck since they were young children in order to get to this point. And for somebody who decides or who identifies as a woman to take that away from me when I've been working the majority of my life to this point, to take that away from me in 1 year because they transitioned from a man to a woman is just like
right.
heartbreaking.
That's
Yeah, Todd,
Heartbreaking.
crazy.
That's a good point, man. I didn't think about it like that. You just took somebody else's spot that's been
Mm-hmm.
training their whole life to do that.
Mm-hmm. Not cool.
Yeah.
You're
Like this
right,
is
absolutely.
not like some sort of um hobby for them. This is swimming is their career. It's
Yeah,
their
Their
life.
It's your
life.
life.
Yeah.
When you get it that far, it's your life.
Yeah. Yes. So
I
yeah,
mean, is
starting
it a
our own
coincidence that
transgender
Leah
league.
Thomas
That's a
was
good idea.
I think so
Is it a
too. I
coincidence
think so
that Leah
too.
Thomas was 400 placed amongst the men, 400 and what, 16th or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you transition to the women's and you make it to this point and you're breaking records and you're number one.
But just
Right.
because you want to
Crazy.
transition,
Right.
like what Jeff was saying, I think that's a good idea to start your own league because just because you transition, I don't want you to stop your dreams. But
I'm gonna
It
look into
shouldn't
that.
stop your dream, but at the same time, another thing is, and this is why it's so complicated. Are there enough transgender athletes to even start a league?
There's so many of them on both
I
sides, women and men.
mean, maybe
I
if they
mean,
had their own league and opportunity to do so, maybe there will be more
right.
people. My question is, like in the dressing rooms, like where does he go? Like when they go get ready or after the swimming meet, like where is he at? Like what
he's a
locker room does
female
he go
now, so
into?
he identifies as a female. He probably does with the female.
Yeah, I think in the future, I just think that like right now, there's definitely should have been more conversation around it.
So
Because
That's just
like
he's
this
going
is
into the
definitely
women's
not
locker
fair to
room
the
to shower
biological
and
women
all
who
of
are
that.
competing.
I would assume so.
Now, wasn't there something that came up not too long ago, maybe a couple years back about in school too? There was like students in school that were switching genders, and they were like having conversations like, "Where's this kid go to the bathroom at in school?" Did they ever
Yes.
come up with a solution to that at all?
And that's why I was asking that, because it's
I
bigger
don't.
in sports. And like, how, where do we put place, and again, I don't know what to call it, just people transitioning, period. Where do we place
Right.
them at in society?
Well, I know at my place of
Yeah.
employment, once this person transitioned to a woman, they were allowed to use the women's bathrooms. And
And that's why I was telling Kenya they probably shower and do stuff with the woman if she identifies as a woman. Didn't they come up with something too where you
So
could change it
I'm gonna just be
on
blunt.
your
Does
ID or
that happen
something?
before or after the surgery? Because
Right.
do
Yeah.
they have
oh
to,
no,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like if
I
they
think you
coming
just
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
in,
to identify as one. I think if I identify as a woman, I'm allowed to use the woman's bathroom. I think that's how it goes.
But I don't think you're allowed to identify as a woman until after that surgery.
Is
I know. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't
right?
think that
Am
that's
I
true
right or
no,
no?
because I think
yeah,
they
because
had
that's
Transgender
surgery.
did not have the
crazy.
surgery, but still identified as a woman.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think he had to
because
have surgery.
going back to what you said, Jess, when the conversation came up in for as far as like kids or whatever, and in the school, they're not even old enough to even make that decision, but they
Right.
identify as a boy or girl, whatever. What
Exactly.
restroom do they use? And it's really, really confusing to kids at that age too. Uh, and
Keith,
says Daddy, the
I
woman
agree
was
with Keith.
Hey
standing.
yo, if my 10-year-old comes out of the bathroom and says, "Daddy,
Period.
that woman was standing up peeing," we're gonna have a problem. Period.
Period.
I
Like
get it.
that's what
Big
I'm
problem.
saying. Like
But look,
I
we too old school. See, that's the thing.
think that that's it.
We can't identify with what's going on. Like people that's in their 20s and stuff, they probably got a better perspective of this because we're too old school. It's just plain black and white
So
for us.
I
You're right. You're
personally
right.
know somebody who is transgender. Like I
Yeah,
personally know
me
I
too.
know him, her. And I guess those are questions that I'll have to ask her because um I got a few questions. Like you know what I'm
The
saying?
Yeah.
the
I
couple
got a
that I'm
few
cool with,
questions.
the couple that I'm cool with, they understand the other side though. It feels like just because they was getting ridiculed when they was transitioning so much, they just don't like when people be being pricks about it, basically. But
Right.
they definitely, to me, they understand the other side of things.
Yeah,
The
because
people,
It's uncomfortable for everybody. It's more uncomfortable for them, but it's uncomfortable for everybody.
Mhm. So
yeah, because
you know what?
you know they
There's one caveat to this conversation that I wanted to bring up. What do you guys think of? Because we just talked about Leah Thomas. What do you guys think of Leah
nah,
Uh,
she see,
she can't even
yeah,
say
we
she can't even
cannot
say
even
it
talk
because they
about
got a
this.
gag order on her.
Yes, this is
I
crazy.
cannot win. Every time I try to bring something up, I keep freezing. So
Yes.
I wanted to know, like, since we were talking about Leah Thomas, what do you guys think about the Leah Thomas situation versus what happened with Caster Semenya and the Tokyo Olympics?
So now she's
it.
a she, but what's what is she identifying by?
A woman.
A woman, yeah. Yeah.
But
Now, what's going on with Caster Semenya is Caster Semenya has also previously won gold medals, but it's been called into question because her testosterone levels are 3 times as high as the other women. Now, um, one thing that I do want to point out though, in the things that I've read with Caster Semenya, she says she is a woman, she's legally a woman, but I noticed that in the things that I've read, she's careful not to say
She was born a
she was
woman.
born a woman. Like she's not saying she's not going that far. But we know that the testosterone levels are 3 times as high, and they're saying, well, she um needs to take birth control or something to lower her testosterone levels. Otherwise, she cannot compete.
wow.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
Keith, I'm not having this talk with you right now. You're too old school.
Oh my goodness.
Keith says, "What does her birth certificate say?" Keith, I don't know, Keith. I don't know. And I know that this is something that was definitely touchy for me, because with Caster Semenya, I think before I read a little bit more about it, I assumed that Caster Semenya was born a woman. But she did not specifically say that. In everything that I read, she did not specifically say that.
So that led us to believe that she she could have been born a hermaphrodite.
That's a possibility.
Or
allegedly. This is what we're thinking.
And with that being said, we're none of us are doctors or DNA experts or chromosome experts or anything like that. But I do know from working at Children's Hospital, seeing a hermaphrodite being born, and I do know that it's easier for them to be identified as a woman versus a boy. Years ago when I was still working at Children, there was a family who had a baby who was having the surgery done early. The baby was only a couple of months old, and they was having the surgery so they can raise their little girl. We also know, there also was a family where they didn't want to have the surgery, but the baby was having so many issues because of the different hormones in the body. The baby was having, other issues, but that family was leaving it up to the kid once they grew older to identify to what they wanted to be.
Yeah.
That's rough though.
So basically what you're saying is what possibly, allegedly, possibly could have happened in Caster Semenya's case is that choice was possibly made for her
at birth.
But now you have these high testosterone levels because you may not have necessarily been a female.
So back to your question, that'd be the same as Lisa though. Lisa's testosterone levels are high for
a female.
For a female, yeah.
I don't think it's the same. And the only reason why I think it's not the same is because Caster Semenya didn't have a choice. The choice was made for her. Versus,
no, I'm just thinking about the testosterone.
I think the problem the problem that I have with it is I identify as.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
Those words, yeah. But what he was saying was about the testosterone. I can't even say it. The levels,
the hormone.
You know what I'm saying? The hormone levels is, regardless of what, they're going to be high for Leah, because she's a man.
She already went through puberty.
She went through 3 years of hormone replacement therapy.
That's crazy to me.
But also another video that I was watching is once a man or a male goes through puberty, there's just certain things that just cannot be reversed.
Right.
When it comes to them being a male. Also,
the same as females
is not going to change.
Allow you to bear children. Allow you to have a menstrual cycle.
It's
allow you to have mood swings.
A larger lung capacity in order to swim. Like there's so many things that the hormone replacement therapy is not going to change.
If the hormone replacements was able to let these men have menstrual cycles and to bear children, I would not have a dog in the fight. Okay, so until those things are able to happen for men, supposedly changing over to females, like I'm gonna have an argument every single time, because those are two things that you guys will never ever be able to identify with, or even. You can't even have the conversation. You can't sit at the table with me. I done bore 5 kids, and you taking hormone replacements to become a female. You can't sit at the table with me ever.
I'm
All
like, girl, these cramps is killing me. Y'all, you know how I feel, right,
right.
girl?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Dude was a scrub all his life, decided to identify as a woman and dominate the sports.
Yeah,
There's
I
that.
think that's right.
Yeah.
Like Leah Thomas was definitely a scrub as William Thomas. We definitely know
Yeah,
that. A scrub.
couldn't compete.
A
He
whole
sucked.
scrub.
He sucked. So
Yep.
he said, I'm going to change the way I am and go compete with women and try to kill it."
Well, shout out to
Now,
Leah
do I
Thomas for
think that
being
that is the
brave.
sole reason that
Right? No,
Leah
good thinking.
Thomas transitioned to be a woman? I don't think that's the sole reason.
No.
No, but
No. But it's out there though. That's what they're thinking.
And I'm glad that Bruce Jenner spoke up, because let's be real, like Bruce Jenner was a Olympic medalist. Like he could have did
Mhm.
that back in the day, because he said he's always felt the woman in him, or whatever he felt. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he waited until all of that was over, because he could have done that possibly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
He said he
he's a
listened.
woman now, right, Caitlyn?
Yeah.
oh yeah, Caitlyn Jenner, yes.
He said he listened to Shania Twain in his earpieces while he was competing in the
Oh
Olympics.
my goodness.
Now, quick question
My
though.
and then another question I have, like, and I wish I had somebody who could truly answer this for me. Like, for you to say you identify as anything, how do you know?
How do
Because
you
that's how
know?
you feel. That's how you feel about yourself. If I like if I identify as a dog, I feel like I'm a dog. If I identify as a cat, I feel like
Swear they not letting me live today. They not letting me live.
No, they ain't letting you be great. So can like
Well,
How do you know though? When you identify as anything, how do you know?
because
Like,
you
if I
get
say I identify as a man, how do I know what a man feels like?
because you relate to men urges.
Is that what
good
that is?
point. Good point.
that is what is men urges? I don't know what the hell that is. What is that?
Good point.
You want
Tom,
me
you
to
got to
write
answer
a
that
list of
question.
urges that males have?
My screen's going blank. I don't know what's happening here. Tom,
Oh,
answer that question. My screen's cutting out, buddy.
Lord, it's
I'm
something
it's
I want to
really,
take a
really,
look.
it's really a touchy subject, and it's really, really confusing. And like I said,
But listen, like, but on some real stuff, Fernand, like, but that's the thing. Like, what is it that if I say I identify as something, does that make it so?
Yes,
That's the thing.
because we can be whatever we want in life, and whoever tries to stop you, they're just wrong.
I mean, you're going to do however you feel, no matter what. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So I guess if you're feeling like that, you're going to be like that. You're going to act like that.
Okay, the next time I get pulled over for a ticket, I'm going to tell the police officer I identify as a white soccer mom.
And
See
then
how
guess what the police
let me know
officer
how
gonna
that goes for you. Let me know how that goes.
You better start putting bail money away now, buddy.
I
Yeah,
know, right?
yes.
You gonna be like, no,
I
I
hope that
stand
doesn't
to
even work.
Get a
identify
good
as.
lawyer. Cause that is crazy. Again, like
Like,
I
saying
said,
I
speaking
identify as something, I feel like there needs to be, especially for the people who, because people love to call us phobic or whatever, and it's not that we're phobic. I just
You just
need to
don't
have
understand.
a
I'm
clear
not.
understanding of what's
I'm
going on
not.
here, because you can identify as whatever you want.
We all need
Yeah.
lessons on it. I mean, it's
You
something
can
that
identify for whatever you want, and again, I'll stand 10 toes down on it. You can identify, but you will never be a woman. I don't care how many hormones you take, until if you are taking hormone replacements and that is allowing you to have a menstrual cycle in children, then you can have a seat at the table.
Yeah, I mean, listen, even with the not having menstrual cycles and having kids, okay, fine. When we're talking specifically about sports, this is the thing where you're identifying as a woman, Leah Thomas, is now impacting women competitors in a negative way.
Yeah,
Like
Mm-hmm.
I really have a problem with that. I really
yeah,
do.
Me
Like
too.
yeah,
really do.
Me too.
yeah, yeah.
So
But I
I
mean,
mean, at the end of the day,
who are we to
I mean,
say anything?
you can
It's up
identify
to
as what
the
you
league.
want. Like
That's how I
what
feel.
you eat don't
I
make me poop. But until we
Exactly.
get into you impeding on somebody else's life journey,
I mean,
Yes.
they're gonna let her compete if they want to. If not, they're gonna take it away. But like they're the one that have to make that decision. But you're right; it's taken away from a lot of people that should be competing in that sport and not her.
yeah.
Work hard for all their life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Yes. All right. That's. I know we could talk about that.
we definitely do. Do
Right.
you guys have anything else today?
Ooh, no, no,
Uh-uh.
no. That one right there is touchy.
It
That
is
was rough
Y'all,
touchy.
one.
y'all. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of old folks. Y'all standing on y'all's ground.
Yeah, but honestly, I think
I'm
that
just standing on a woman's ground.
I
Like
honestly
no,
think
no.
that maybe if we do more research, we could table this discussion for another day because I'm really interested to know a little bit more background on Caster Semenya and why she was denied competing in the Tokyo Olympics.
My neighbor is cross gender. I'm gonna go have them come over at your next meeting. I'm gonna have them talk to you.
That would be
Just
interesting.
saying.
Informative.
It would be very interesting. I got a couple of,
Just
like
to
I
see what
said, I
they
know
say.
someone who is transitioning, took the hormones, has boobs, all of that thing, all of those things. I don't know if she has done the deed for as having her manhood removed, but I know that that was a goal of hers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to know that with all of that being said, you know what I'm saying? She now says that she is a she, and that is her prerogative. I love her the same, but when it comes to things like that,
You're
I
right.
mean, she will never be able to have children ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like he just said, Bruce being nominated for Woman of the Year. Like, are you serious?
I
Crazy.
can
You
honestly
know,
say, even at that time, as a biological woman, I felt insulted when it happened. I did.
Yeah.
you didn't think she showed so much strength coming out and just
Sure, sure.
Well, why
no, but
could
she definitely. All
well
jokes
why
aside, she
couldn't
took that away from
that be
somebody who should have
trans person of
rightfully
the
won it.
year?
And I was mad at her heels
Right.
too. She should
Yeah.
have had better heels on. For real.
There you go.
Caitlin, like you could afford better heels. Let's be real.
But again, just
Yeah.
have your own competition. Have, like you said, transgender of the year. Why does it have to be you're in the women of the year? Have
You
your
know
own
who? You
And
know
you
transgender of
know
the
who?
what?
year.
Honestly, I see Jeff, and here's the thing. I understand why like people in the LGBTQIA community want to feel like they're in an inclusive environment. I understand that.
Hmm.
But you cannot feel and be included in something at the detriment of somebody like
I
Yeah.
would be
this is
done
at the
having a
detriment of but
transgender of the
this
year.
sport is specifically for women, biological women,
Right.
because if this was not separated, everybody would just compete as one big group and it'll be a
Yeah.
free for all
Now,
in
Yeah.
see,
track, swimming, golf, with all the sports. You
Yes.
wouldn't have
I
separate.
I
So
honestly thought Tom Brady was going to come back this year as a woman, so that surprised me.
Ah.
There go Pittsburgh.
Why not? You know, why not?
That's it. There go the Pittsburgh in you.
I know. I forgot. I'm sorry, Tom. I forgot.
No, but
Yeah.
transgender of the year might be better, honestly, because it'll put a spotlight on.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if we
yeah.
have a woman who identifies as a man winning a male of the year award, it's going to be a whole bunch of backlash.
Yeah. Then they could do their women Olympic, and they could have it in Bangkok. What? Ain't that in China?
Yes.
I probably would be an ideal place for
Yeah, that would be a great place, I think.
it. Oh my goodness.
But
Sorry,
like
guys.
with all of this being said, like I was saying earlier, I definitely want to do more research on caster because I think that makes the conversation a little bit different.
It does. It does.
You're right. Absolutely.
All
I
right,
agree.
guys.
And what, Keith, what are you talking about? You should have just came on today.
Facts. Because he should have
Yeah.
known better. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Identify. Like, how do you know? Like, how do you know what us women go through? You don't
And
know.
that's definitely a question for somebody who's part of the trans community. Because as far as I'm concerned, there wouldn't be any way for you to know that.
Mm-mm.
Right.
You know that you
Right.
feel some type of way.
Yeah.
You feel some type of way, but how do you know that is a woman?
You're
How do you
right.
know?
How do we know the Earth's not flat?
Huh?
I said, how do we know the Earth's not flat?
Oh man, because we got satellite images. It like, come on.
So they know what they can assume what a woman feels like, and they feel that way.
That's the key
Listen,
word. Assume.
Assuming, yeah.
assume is one thing, but we have factual, legit, areological photos of the Earth being round. So there's that.
Did you take the photo?
I ain't take the photo, but we see the
So
photos.
somebody else took it and gave it and told you it was round.
All right, so okay, facts. So I'm gonna just entertain you for 2 seconds, real quick. If the Earth was flat,
I'm not saying the
why are
Earth
you?
is flat. I'm just saying I'm definitely not following into that logic. I'm just saying I can't tell you that a male can't feel like a woman just because they assume what a woman feels like. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know, Jess. I don't know. And again, I gotta do more research on it and actually speak to somebody who's transitioned into a woman to know what those
Hmm.
feelings are.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Man, y'all, I mean,
Definitely.
I give up today. I really do.
Okay. Yeah, because
Now, Tom, as far as the Earth being flat, who do you know who fell off the edge?
I don't know. Do you know anybody who came across, came around the edge? I mean, came around the circle, whatever you want to call it, the sphere.
Yeah, like there's documented people who have sailed around the world, aren't there? I'm sure we could Google and find out.
Again, do you know somebody?
See, you make these little straw. I guess that's what they call straw man arguments or whatever. Like I don't even know
I'm
why I'm
just
even
saying.
entertaining you at this point. Like
I'm
this
just
is
saying. Be
ridiculous.
careful. Be careful what they feed you.
Be careful with what?
Be careful what they feed you.
I feel like what
All right,
Tavi
flat
be doing
earther.
when he says things and does when he says things like that, I feel like it's a bait tactic that he's doing.
It is.
Whenever he says, stuff like that.
It is because we really don't know. We don't know. We just go off of what we assume and feel.
Yeah.
And I assume
Uh,
that I assume that the world is round, but at the end of the day, I'm assuming because somebody showed me satellite pictures of what somebody else told me.
Swear he baits me every time, and he only harasses me, Shanae. Swear he does.
don't fall into the bait. Yes.
Always, he is always baiting me. Like I can't even believe I'm even
Yes.
discussing. I even
Yes.
entertained that
You
for a
almost you almost
millisecond,
fell
Shanae.
into that,
Can't lie.
Jess. You did.
Just
You
definitely
did.
almost fell into it.
Jessica definitely put her foot in it. You
I
did.
did, but I had to put it back out.
Okay.
Nah, but seriously though, Jeff, man, I definitely appreciate you coming on because I was glad
Yes.
to hear
Absolutely.
about the different programs you have. And even if I can't get enough bottle caps for you, I'll definitely want to donate to. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. No,
And we'll
I
definitely
really
share
appreciate
the
it.
information on the O.P.O.V podcast page
Cool.
as well.
Yeah, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on there and speak about it a little bit. Something near and dear to my heart, what I do. So, if anybody could help and wants any information on how to get involved, man, feel free to. reach out, and I'll definitely help you out any way I can.
Cool.
Me and my daughter would definitely want to volunteer, Jeff.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. So,
all right. So is that it,
all right,
guys?
Let's have a blessed night. Thank you for having me.
You
You're
also,
welcome.
Jeff, and talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Just, there you go. You back? You back, Jeff?
Yeah, let's get out of here. My internet has been hated this entire time.
Yes.
But I love you guys. Thanks so much for a good conversation tonight. This is the O.P.O.V podcast. And please like, comment, subscribe. Follow our Facebook page, like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the O.P.O.V as well. We love you guys, and we will see you back next week.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.
Good night.